Alright, so today's video is going to be a bit of a rant from my part, and you may hear some uncomfortable truths. So if you're someone who is in need of a bit of a kick in the back, this video is for you. Alright, so you're probably, I'm assuming, in your teens or in your 20s, like myself, or maybe even in your 30s. Regardless, it's so important that you keep on working on yourself to establish positive habits if you haven't done so already, and more so to not shoot yourself in the foot and to get out of your own way. I'm going to elaborate on these later. Even if you're 30, you've still got at least 30 to 40 years left of your good years, if Allah wills. So it's all the more important to make sure that the rest of your years are as good and as impactful as possible. So I'm going to talk a little bit about habits. Let's say exercise, right? Exercise, fitness, eating clean. And no, I'm not talking about the stupid fad diets, those crash diets that people do, like, oh, I'm going to lose 10 kilograms in one day. No, not those that people do and rebound, but actual good stuff that you eat, clean stuff, natural stuff that you eat for the majority of the time. And you're reading, you're learning, you're increasing your knowledge, you're consistently reinventing yourself, you're learning new skills, you're having an income on the side, you're meditating for mental clarity, you're taking care of your mental health, you're journaling, and you're getting professional help if you're needing it. And if you're a Muslim, you're staying on the deen. Guess what? You do these and you're going to be a better place than the majority of people that you meet. Let that sink in. Like, think about that for a second. This seems so deceptively simple, and yet I promise you, this is all you need to get started towards your path. And by doing this, you're going to be further ahead than most people. You know, this is going to be setting up a killer, top-notch foundation for any of those great endeavors and undertakings that you want to do in the future. Any of those big dreams that you have, those creative projects that you are to undertake, you're making a positive impact on the people around you. You're going to become the type of person needed to do all those things if you do those habits that I mentioned, and it's going to be so much more easier. And not only that, also, you're automatically going to be a freaking asset to your family, friends, and your community. You know, people are going to look up to you, and you're going to be an inspiration to them. You know, you're going to be this absolute phenomenal version of yourself if you keep on working these day in and day out. And as much as it is important to keep climbing up that mountain, even if you do it slowly, it's more important that you don't go downhill and shoot yourself in the foot. And no, I'm not talking about sudden accidents like, I don't know, an asteroid falling on your head or something like that. No, I'm talking about the absolute most basic of the stupidest habits that people do that you can do. You know, stuff like substance abuse, smoking, shisha, ganja, alcohol, drugs. You know, it's so deceptive. It's so stupid that people do that. Don't do this, and like, don't make the majority of your diet being these unhealthy, ultra-processed foods. And people suddenly wonder why, like 30 to 40 years later, people suddenly wonder why they're so miserable day in and day out, why they have such a crappy body, and why they have to keep consuming 10, 20 medicines and pills a day, and why they have to spend so much money on these. You know, don't be a freaking dumb and do this crap. Like, oh, amar dost amar cigarette khawaise. Well, guess what? They're not your friends. You don't need to reinvent the wheel and test these out to say, oh, আমি একটু test out করে দেখি তো এটা আমার ভালো কিনা. No, you don't need to do that. It's well established that these are not good for you. Just don't waste your time and stay away from them. And especially those who try to get you to do these. They themselves have no idea what they're doing with their lives, and you're going to entrust your precious time and life to them. Do you value yourself so less? Don't call them your friends. They're not your friends. They're just people you hang around with. All right, so let's say that, okay, you don't have big dreams. You're not so ambitious. Well, guess what? To that, I say that as the years go by, you go further down the line, as your world widens up, as your perceptions widens, and you gain a better understanding of the world and yourself, you're inevitably going to wish that you did something with your young time and energy, that you took care of yourself, that you set the foundation, that you became skilled at some stuff. I promise you, you're going to wish that you were not such a dumbass. And even if you don't have the foresight or the self-confidence to do these for yourself, let's say you don't even value yourself yet, at least do this so that you are not such a burden to your family or friends. And before you go off and say, oh, I'm going to kill myself, I'm going to jump off the roof, I'm going to overdose on pills or something like that, know that by doing these, you are going to cause a lot of trouble for the people around you. You know, recently a brother of mine died, someone that used to live close by. He died because of this, and he's caused a lot of anguish for his stupid mistake. So ঘুরে ফিরে যদি এটাই হয়, if it's going to be that anyway, doesn't it make sense to ignore all the crap, ignore all the negativity, and keep working on yourself, especially when you don't feel like it? Because it's hard. If you're down in the drains, it's hard, but it makes absolute sense to do that. And you know, as a young guy, you don't realize this just now, but the older you get, the more responsibilities you're going to have. You just don't get it at this age. And when they come, and when you find that you didn't take care of yourself, that you hung out with the wrong crowd, that you did all this dumbassery, and that you were a freaking dumbass during your young years, all of this is going to bite you in the back, and you are going to be absolutely miserable. You know, think about that for a moment. So coming back to our point, if you keep on managing to do all these positive habits day in and day out, you know, even if it's the smallest, you know, reading, you're taking care of your fitness, learning, meditating, going towards deen and all this good stuff, and you go towards these positive habits and actions, and you run away from these clear-cut, established, negative, destructive, dumbass mistakes, not only are you going to be better than the majority of people, you're also going to see the absolute freaking star that you become, and how useful you are, and how much of a positive and big impact you make on the people and places around you. You're going to make absolute waves, bro. You're going to be phenomenal. And you're going to look back on these years that you worked on yourself and gained all these skills, and you're going to thank yourself that you did. So for those people who are willing to stay on the right path, who are willing to steer clear of these tried and tested idiotic mistakes and actions and habits, those who are willing to do those hard works, especially when they don't feel like it, I say, inshallah, greatness is coming your way. So that's it from me today. Take care. Assalamu alaikum, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.